Hello everyone, it's great to have you all on board. It's another time with Tutor Ayo, the fantastic tutor, and in today's tutorial, it's going to be a continuation of the course POL215, and today we'll be talking about Aristotle. In our last class, we've spoken about Socrates, and we've also spoken about Plato, and today we'll be talking about Aristotle. Okay, and why have we been discussing these philosophies these philosophers? It's basically because the course itself, it's all about political thought theories, and we have been studying the contribution, the great works of these great philosophers. Okay, for today we're going to be discussing the biography of Aristotle. With this being said, let's get straight into it. Okay, so we have POL215, and we will be discussing the biography, the biography, Aristotle biography, Aristotle biography. All right. I think I need to adjust this a bit. Yeah. I think it's better now. Now, Aristotle, who lived 322 years before Christ to 384 years before Christ. Aristotle, I think I need to adjust this a bit. Yeah, I think that's a bit better. Okay, is that that's a bit better, right? Now, Aristotle, who lived 322 to 384, it's 384 years before Christ, was a Greek philosopher. Not just that, a philosopher, a logician, right? One who bases based on logic. He's a very factual person, a logical person, and also a scientist. A Greek philosopher, a Greek philosopher, a logician, and a scientist. I need to write this clearly. And a scientist. Okay, speaking of Aristotle biography. Now, along with his teacher, Plato happens to be Aristotle teacher. And Plato had Socrates as teacher. Socrates is a teacher to Plato, and Plato here is a teacher to Aristotle. These are all great philosophers. Now, Aristotle is generally regarded as one of the most influential ancient thinkers in several philosophical fields, including political theory. Is generally regarded as is generally regarded as a great, okay, as one of the most. He is, okay, he was regarded as one of the most, right, as one of the most influential ancient, okay, influential ancient thinkers in not just one field, in several fields, all right, in several philosophical fields. All right, several philosophical fields, okay, and including in several philosophical fields, including political theory, all right. Aristotle was regarded as one of the most influential. Why won't he be influential? His tutor was Plato himself, all right, and Plato got, all right, what he had from Socrates, all right. You can see the way they are passing it down. Definitely, Aristotle is not. I am certain that Aristotle is just one among several other students, all right, among other students Plato has, okay, but Aristotle among his peer, Aristotle among his set was recognized as one of the most influential in his time, just like his tutor Plato, all right, not just in one field but in several philosophical fields, all right, in several philosophical fields, including political theory. Okay, so we have that as that. Now let's continue. Aristotle was born in Stagira in northern Greece. Born in Stagira in northern Greece. Born in Stagira in northern, all right, Greece, and his father was a court physician to the king of Macedon. His father, Aristotle, father, all right, Aristotle's father was a court physician. Court physician, all right, to the king of Macedon. To the king of Macedon. Okay, as a young man, Aristotle studied at Plato's academy in Athens. All right, so we know now that during Plato's existence, he owned an academy. All right, during Plato's existence, Plato owns an academy, and this academy was in Athens. All right, and Aristotle happens to be one of the young men that studied in Plato he studied in he studied in Plato's academy, and this academy was in Athens. Athens. This academy was in Athens. Still on the biography, still on Aristotle's biography. Now, after Plato's death, Aristotle left Athens. After Plato's death, Aristotle left Athens. And he left Athens to conduct philosophical and biological research. As you can see, now this has made us understand that Aristotle wasn't just a philosopher, He wasn't just a logician. He was also a scientist and has love for biology. He has love for biology, and that was why after the death of his tutor, which was Plato, he left Athens to conduct philosophical and biological research in Asia, in Asia Minor and Lesbos. I believe we can see what I'm writing up there. So after Plato's death, Aristotle left where? He left Athens, where he was in the academy of Plato. He left Athens to conduct a philosophical and biological and biological philosophical and biological research in where? In Asia. Research in Asia, as this is to prove that he wasn't just a philosopher, a logician, he also had flair for biology. So we have that as that. So as you can see, this is the biography of Aristotle, and we are moving towards, we are definitely going to get to what he thinks about political thought. Where is political thought? What can be gained from Aristotle political thought? So permit me to raise the board so we can take more points. That's my duster. No, I'm not supposed to erase this. I think I should, since we are moving on. Having touched some part of his biography, definitely we can't do all. Now, we said he left Athens after the death of his tutor, Plato. So he left Athens for Asia to conduct philosophical and biological research. He was then invited by King Philip II of Macedon. He was then invited. He left Athens. And let's not forget, his father was a court physician to the king of Macedon. So after he left Athens for Asia, he was then invited to Macedon by the son of the king that his father, all right, served as a court physician. Now he was invited by who? King Philip II. Okay, he was then invited by King Philip II. Okay, now to tutor his young son Alexander the Great. Okay, now you can see I'm beginning to see the relationship between these great people. All right, I'm beginning to see. All right, I'm beginning to see the relationship between all these great philosophers. Now look at it here. We started with Socrates. All right, then Socrates passed it on. All right, Socrates passed it on to Plato. Okay, Socrates passed it on to Plato. So from Plato it got to Aristotle. Okay, then from Aristotle we then have Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great. All right, Alexander the Great. All right, now why did I make this situation? All these men, they were great people in their time. Now what am I trying to bring out here? What I'm trying to say is that you cannot eat from a genuine, authentic, and quality vine and not reflect or reciprocate or show forth what you have eaten from. Now, a man is what he reads, listens to, eats from, watches, and do consistently. All right? Socrates here, a great man. Plato learned from him. He became great. Aristotle, a great man. He learned from a great man called Plato. He became great. Alexander the Great, a great conqueror, all right, became great, a great man, And he also learned from a great man called Aristotle. So you cannot take tutors, lesson, and philosophies of life from a great man and not become great yourself. Now, this is to say, in essence, that greatness has a pattern. Okay, I'm just imagining the flow and how everything goes. Greatness has a pattern. If you can follow through, then the result is definite. All right, the result is definite. I'm very sure that apart from Plato, apart from Aristotle, apart from Plato that learned under Socrates, there are still other great men. Although we cannot do everything, we cannot name every one of them. There are still other great students of his that moved mountains in their time. Okay, Plato is just privileged to be used, all right, as a subject matter in this material. What am I saying? In essence, greatness has a pattern. Now, enough of that. Now let's get back to our material. I mean, there are a lot of in that time dispensation and era. I'm certain that there were a lot of tutors, philosophers, all right, great thinkers and logicians. But why is it that why was it that out of all these great philosophers and thinkers, logician, whatever, all right, don't forget this man is a king, and kings are surrounded by all these great astrologers, philosophers, scientists. They have them at their fingertip. All right, at least we got to know of the story of Moses, all right, and how King Pharaoh is surrounded by a lot of magicians, physicians. They are all there, shans, they are all there. All right, but among all of these people, why was King Philip II particular about inviting? Don't forget, Alexander left after his master. He left for Asia. He was needed to be invited. He did not come and say, I want to work. He was invited by the king himself to come and what? To come and, all right, to come and tutor his young son. And that young son that he tutored became the great Alexander. Now look at the pattern. That is the pattern of greatness. Now, he was then invited by King Philip II to tutor his son Alexander the Great. Am I not writing my email? Now, look at it. This is wonderful. I'm just beginning to realize this. Okay? Now, soon after, he became great eventually. Soon after, Alexander succeeded his father. All right? He consolidated the conquest of the Greek city and launched invasion of the Persian Empire. All right? We know for his great conquest. He's a man known for his great conquest. Okay? Aristotle returned as a resident alien to Athens and was a close friend to Antipater, the Macedonian viceroy. All right, that is according to Jowett in 1984. Jowett in 1984 Jowett in 1984 said that Aristotle returned as a resident alien to Athens, all right, while Alexander was on his conquest, All right, after he launched the invasion on Persian Empire, Aristotle left Macedon for Athens. Don't forget that was where he was before he left Athens, and he left Athens for Plato's place, Plato's academy. All right, and now he's back but now he's back as an alien. All right, and he was a close friend. He was Aristotle returned as a resident alien to Athens and was a close friend to Antinapa, so Antinapa during the during the invasion of Persian Empire. All right, the invasion of Persian Empire. Aristotle left for Athens. All right, now he left for Athens and he got to Athens as a resident alien. All right, he's not recognized as a citizen. All right, but as a resident alien, just stay for the time being before he moved on. All right, and he was a close friend of. All right. As a close friend of Antipater. All right, Antipater happens to be Macedonia. All right, viceroy. Now, when Alexander died suddenly, Aristotle had to flee. All right, Aristotle had to flee. Don't forget, to be a tutor of the great Alexander is nothing easy. All right, so that was why when he returned to Athens, look at the statement. He returned as a resident alien. He's not totally welcomed. All right, so but the covering of Alexander that was upon him expired when Alexander died suddenly, and Aristotle fled. All right, he had to flee from Athens because of the Macedonian connections, and he died soon after. All right, he died soon after. So now let's talk about Aristotle's view. Okay, let's talk about Aristotle's view of political science. Aristotle's view of political science. Miss Regina, are you on this stream? If you're on this stream, please do well to use comment section, just to, because I haven't noticed your comments right while the class has been ongoing. Now, Aristotle's view of politics. Okay, according to Aristotle, political science studies the tasks of politicians or state. Okay, so Aristotle view of political science. Okay, I think we are back now. So Aristotle says that political science studies the tasks of politician or statesman. Okay, Miss Regina. Okay, that's good. Okay, his view of political science. He said that political science studies the tasks, pol science studies the task of the politician or statements, in as much as medical science is concerned with the work of politicians and with the work of physicians. Now, let's get this straight. As much as medical science concerns is concerned with the physician. Let's not forget we're talking about doctor. A doctor is a physician. Okay, more of an archaic English. Physician. So doctor is also a physician. Now, look at what he said here. He said the way a doctor is concerned with medical, that is how political science also concerned with politician or statements. Now, let's continue. Now, Aristotle in his word, he said that legislative science is more important than politics. Look at what he said here. He said legislative science, the act and process of putting the right people, all right, in the right political office, people who are eager to do the right thing, all right, that process, that act is more important than the work politics this legislator or this elected individual is coming to do. Is particular about the system than the action. Are we together? Now, once the constitution, now talking about, I said something about the system. So Aristotle emphasizes on the constitution. According to him, once the constitution is in place, the politician needs to take the appropriate measure to maintain it. Legislative science. Constitution is essential. Be that as it may, the need for this constitution to be observed duly and continuously is a priority for who? For the politician. Once the constitution is in place, the politician needs to take the appropriate measure to maintain it. to introduce reforms, all right, adjustments, improve it when he finds them necessary, and to also prevent by improving. Now, constitution to be maintained. One, improved upon, improved, all right. Two, all right, to prevent error in the political system. Now, you see, Aristotle was more particular about the system than the responsibility. All right, is more of, if you can bring up a person, if you can get someone who understands why he is in the office, if you can get someone who understands what it takes to judge rightfully, to do what is right, strive at getting such a person, because it is only that kind of person that won't joke with the constitution, that will ensure the constitution works, maintains the constitution, improve upon it. That is the reforms. All right, whenever it deems fit and necessary, improves it in order to prevent anything that will hinder an effective constitution or an effective political system. Okay, so we have that as that. Now, Aristotle frequently compare politician as a craftsman, politician as a, this question might come out. What does Aristotle compare politicians as? So now we'll know why. Why is Aristotle comparing politicians, all right, as a craft? Who is the Amorova? Who is the craftsman? We'll get to know. Now, Aristotle as craftsmen. Okay, as craftsman. Now, this is the analogy. Now, politics, all right, politicians as craftsmen. Politicians are there because of politics. Okay, politics itself is the strict sense, of what? Of legislative okay. Politics itself is a strict sense of legislative science, and this is a form of practical knowledge. All right. Politics, legislative science, like I said earlier on, is the science that is particular about how you fix an individual that merits the position of authority, and ensuring this practical knowledge is imperative. All right, is imperative. Ensuring legislative science, practical knowledge is very necessary. All right. Now, in this process of ensuring you fix the right person in the right position, that right person now that you are fixing up, or that right person that merits a particular official position, is the craft. All right, is the craft. The individual or the politician, let me know the individual. The politician is then the craft. All right, it needs is the craft that makes, all right, that makes complete this process. All right, and that's why I said it compares politicians as craftsmen. All right, craftsmen, definitely they are the one that uses craft to build something. All right, they are the one that produce, they use craft. All right, and craft could be anything, could be mold, it could be anything to create work of art, beautiful. All right, so now this system is made up of, all right, people in government. Government is associated with politics. All right, this system now is made up of people in government, people that ensures, all right, the constitution is being observed, orderliness and everything. All right, and they are referred, these people now, they are the craftsman that requires crafts. All right, a craftsman without craft is not a craftsman. It is the craft that makes him a craftsman. All right, so now they are craft in the sense that the burden is not laid totally on them. Why? Because this system ensures, all right, that the person that is coming here, this craft is capable. This craft is capable, is merit. This craft merits, all right, the produce, the end produce, which is the position of authority. All right, which is the practical knowledge, which is politics. I don't know if we get this. Now let's continue. Now, Aristotle said that politicians produce, operate, and maintain legal system. Maintain, all right, produce, maintain, all right, and operate legal system. Now you see how this works. Okay, now I was talking about craft the other time. Now let's take the production of artifacts. All right, artifact can be an object of art. All right, a very nice, beautiful object, or just an object of art. Okay, now to produce an artifact, you need now. Aristotle explained the production of an artifact in in terms of four causes. All right. Now, this craftsman, as a craftsman, you want to build an artifact. Now, you need four materials. All right. You need the material. You need the now. According to Aristotle, he said the production of artifacts in terms of four causes: the materials, the formal, efficient, and final causes. Now, you need the material. Now, the clay, all right, clay, which is the material, okay, is molded into a shape, depending on what the craftsman wants to achieve. And this shape is what we call the formal cause. The formal cause. Okay? The shape that is trying to mold it into might be a potter. Alright? All these pots. A potter. Alright? Efficient or moving cause. Alright? Moving cause. The process continues. And this potter, so that it can contain liquid, then it becomes useful. Then this is the final, the final cause. Now we see the process. All right, this is the process. Okay, the craftsman, the legislative science or the legislative process, they need clay. All right, this clay has to be shaped with the intention of getting a potter, and this potter is responsible for containing liquid that can be used, all right, for good things and for that can be used. So now let's relate this to the system ensuring, all right, if this clay is cracked, then it will not be able to contain liquid, and whenever liquid is poured into this cracked potter, then it leaks off. That is what Aristotle is saying. That if the system has failed to produce an individual that merits a position, if he finally gets there, if he finds his way there, he cannot hold liquid. And that is the genesis of politics, problem of politics. Majority of people that are in that office, all right, they are cracked already, all right. They are cracked potters. They can't hold liquid. So this is what Aristotle compares. That's what he says, compares politicians as craftsmen. All right. So if they fail, if politicians fail in using their craft properly to get what is needed, then the system itself is a failure. Okay. So we have that as that. Now, Aristotle also said something about constitution and citizenship. Aristotle defines the citizen as a person who has the right to participate in deliberate or judicial office. Now, in our terms, for example, citizens have the right to attend assembly. In our term, citizens had the right to attend assembly, the council, and other bodies. Okay? Although full citizenship tended to be restricted in Greek, unlike Athens. All right? In Greek, full citizenship is restricted. All right? Is restricted. So we have that on that. And Aristotle also said something about the law. He said, Aristotle champions the rule of law against power. All right, he said rule of law has to be in control, not just power. All right, because talking about rule of law now, we are talking about letting the law do a thing, and with that, it definitely has to observe the constitution of that land. All right, not just power, but letting the law do have its way. So we have that as that. So I think on this note, we'll call it a wrap for today, and we will take a bearing from Marcus Tullis Cicero in our next class. All right, take our bearing from Marcus Tullis Cicero in our next class. All right, so thank you very much, everyone. I believe we have been able to gain a thing or two in today's class. Please let's do well to submit our note, our private class, soon as we conclude the class tonight. So thank you very much, everyone, once again. I look forward to seeing you on the subsequent tutorials. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye bye.